What's up, guys? I'm SaltEMike, and this is your Star Citizen Week in Review for January 20th, 2025. We got a patch to the PTU every single day this week, but how effective have they been? The sneak peek this week clears up some confusion from last week, but creates more as well, and hopefully we start to hear more about future plans soon. All that and more on today's Week in Review. And as always, if this is your first week in review, this is where I take all of the official Star Citizen news each week, put it into one video, and share my opinion about it. I also live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/SaltEMike. I see you guys every week. Stop over and say hi, and it never gets old, so keep it up. Now, before we get into today's video, let me share with you today's sponsor. Thank you to Manta Sleep for sponsoring today's video. Manta Sleep makes the world's best sleep masks and functional sleep accessories. Manta Sleep really came to the rescue this week, and I want to tell you about it. I've spoken about these before, but the Manta Sleep eye cups, specifically the steam cups, were front and center in our house this week. My wife randomly had a crazy sinus attack, and she tried everything to relieve the pressure, and the Manta Sleep steam eye cups really helped loosen those pressure points, you know, like right here around the nose, and she felt a lot better. And for me, the cool eye cups have been such a huge help as I continue to get those stress headaches, you know, the ones kind of right behind your eyes, and I just feel the cold pulling out the pain. I rarely use any other remedies to deal with my headaches anymore. And lastly, this thing around my neck. You're gonna think it's ridiculous, but it's cold in Florida. It's cold for Florida standards right now. So at night, I've really come to like the neck heating pad. And just like the eye cups, I do tend to get a little relief around my neck and shoulders from sitting here all day. So if you're interested in improving your sleep and becoming more productive, then join the ProNap movement at mantasleep.com and use code SaltEMike for 10% off your order. This is a big sale. Don't miss this one, guys. These guys rock. Thanks, everyone, for engaging with the sponsors. As always, Manta's been with us for a while, and I use them literally every single night. But with that said, we had quite a few patches, so let's jump into those patch updates. All right, so they start up this week with some minor changes to ground collision, lowering the number of turrets around asteroid bases, and they said they did reputation at Save Stanton, but I haven't seen it. It just has a journal entry at this point saying complete 6 of these, but only shows after you complete the first one, confirming that you're actually taking the path that of that given faction. Basically, I chose Citizens for Pyro or Prosperity in this situation, and the personal cooldown on missions is a weird one. It also seems to apply to Save Stanton. It basically ruined my entire week. Spending time waiting on what you want to do instead of doing it seems like really stupid design. So don't really know what's going on there. I would rather get less reward than having nothing to do if they're trying to prevent us from making too much money or something, right? For bugs, I only see one notable one at the top. The purple ship despawning issue should be fixed. I have not seen it since. Please let me know if you guys are still experiencing it. On Tuesday, for features, journal entries are actually now available for Save Stanton Chapter 2. And yeah, it shows you how many you need to complete, which is good. That's what we need. But as you can see, the missions are just not working as this dog spot under the building. And yeah, now I'm proving the notes wrong on Monday as falling through the planet with him, right? They also reduced the impact of stealth components, especially size 1 components, increasing their signatures, but kind of not doing the same with the size 2 and 3s. So yeah, interesting. Probably a welcome change, as stealth ships were extremely meta right now, and clearly something needed to change, but I'm sure that's going to upset some people because they were probably having fun doing it. They also fixed the Mustang storage, but it's still a little clunky. Let me know what you guys think about it. I also don't see the point of Mustang and Aurora storage, and I feel like whoever fixed those could be working on a million other things than those. Bug fixes are, yeah, there's quite a few and only a couple notable ones. They did say they nailed down the zero entity bug, but I saw people complaining about it in chat just yesterday. So yeah, I don't know about that one. Medical beacon markers should be fixed as well. And then on Wednesday, the main thing is that they adjusted turrets to rotate and track much faster. I assume they felt like They weren't enough of a threat at outposts or stations, and yeah, it would be a few years behind on that one because they haven't been a threat for a really long time. They fixed one pesky bug with inventory that you no longer have to kind of wave your mouse over an item to make another item that you might want to interact with interactable, which is good. On Thursday, a small change was made adding harvestables to acidic caves, but then a big change was made where we now actually have missile alerts. They weren't really making sounds before, or they weren't super prevalent. Now they are. For bugs, they said they fixed the black screens, but I haven't had an error like that to confirm in the PTU just yet. So let me know, please, in the comments if you're still experiencing these. PDCs weren't shooting if the ship's pilot was in the seat, so that's fixed. And then on Friday, they excluded asteroids when we exit jump points so we don't smash into them. But they also added more handyman missions to Pyro. Now, the problem with that is they don't actually work. So yeah, that one's a weird one. And then a lot of important bug fixes here. And yeah, one of them is when we switch between master modes, our power allocation will reset. That's working okay. The part that is not is what they said would work, but when we cross the dedicated server mesh, the kind of coolers and things like what you would assume needs to be on by default, defaults back on if you've turned it off. But if you turn them back off, the game does know where you want the power to be allocated. It's very weird. And once again, they said they fixed handyman missions, but they didn't. And yeah, now you could fail a jump point because distortion damage is actually able to stack up now, but it's really hard to fail. And when you do, there doesn't appear to be much of a punishment. You're left back at the jump point. I tried to fail like way towards the end, and it wouldn't even let me fail if I tried. So don't really know what's going on there. Don't know what happened to punishments for bad things happening to us. It seems like we get punished for the most minor thing, super bad, and then major punishments like death and failing a jump point have like no consequences whatsoever. So I don't know. Then for Stave Santa in Chapter 2, I've been trying to go down the CFP route, and it's been impossible. I've not been able to complete it. I might try some other route later this week coming up here because CFP just doesn't work. I can get the first phase done, but I never see missions for the second phase. When I do, they don't work. You know, I've just basically given up. Along with the lack of progress on the mission refactor, this PTU has been really frustrating. So when we get these PTUs, I tend to feel stuck in the middle of wanting to see the game improve in the PTU and a sense of pointlessness to playing the current 4.0 live build. Am I the only one feeling this? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's move on to those other updates. All right, so last week's sneak showed the inside of the Mist Fortune. This is what looks like the cargo grid on the exterior. But this thing's weird. The bottom right, the white door looks like it might be where the boxes come out, but there also looks like 6 distinct locations for containers as well. What we don't know is the size of these containers, if they are, and it looks like 1 SCU to me, and if you look at the door, that really could be the case, right? If that is the case, 6 on each side means 12 SCU, which could answer my question from last week. Will this kill the Vulture? Probably not, right? It might be exactly the same in terms of cargo capability. So leave a comment down below. Would you use a Mist Fortune if it has the exact same stats as a Vulture? Or are you just a Vulture fan? I don't know. I like both, right? I like the idea of both, and we'll see. I like the idea of one being slightly better at one thing than the other, but just slightly. So you would use them all together in a fleet, maybe. That would be nice. And then for dev posts, first one is a bit of an oldie. It's about scopes from CitizenCon 2023. So Zach took from the forums to let people know that they don't have the scopes that we saw at CitizenCon last year. And it's been stated before, but the upscaling broke it. And it just looked bad. He's talked about this more than once, but I figured it was a good time to bring it up again. And yeah, what they showed, they just don't have. It's still planned, but like many things from 2023, it doesn't seem like it's just shelved for a while. It seems like it's shelved indefinitely, right? And that's never fun. And, you know, when you're thinking about CitizenCon 2024, just remember what happened at 2023, right? Monthly reports. Now, this is a small one, but they're working on the monthly reports. I was expecting to see them this week, but it looks like in the next 2, maybe. The thing about this is when they're so late, we kind of already know what they worked on because we're already playing it, right? So I'm hoping that there's a few interesting things that we didn't know about. And that tends to happen in like the core gameplay section, for example, right? Lots of talk about radar. We don't get to see that. So it would be cool if we heard some interesting things. And that's how I'll be reporting it on Week in Review. If there's anything interesting, that's what I'm going to point out. Then the mission refactor. So the most notable post from the week, I would say, is this. Elliot popped in to let us know how hard it's been to get the mission refactor done. Fair, cool. They have a list of mission types that they want to do first. Some missions are going to be gone completely. Some will change significantly, and some will just be the same. I have to say, I'm just looking for missions to feel like quests and not just ways to make money. So this basically is the step to get missions working with meshing, but I'm waiting to see these missions look like done or look like what should be after the refactor being complete. And guys, that's going to leave us with this week. Another short week, another kind of nothing week. Even though we had 5 patches, a lot of the stuff in the patches, a lot of the fixes just didn't work. The Save Stanton stuff is not working for me. I think Headhunters and the Freedom Fighters might be working. I got to try them out and see. So I guess leave a comment. Let me know how your Save Stanton experience is going. CFP, it's rough. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah, hopefully we get some really, really good fixes in 4.0.1 this coming week. But this whole weekend, they have the patch up. Hopefully they're getting some good data, and they're able to fix a lot of the issues that we're experiencing. But I'm not holding my breath, and neither should you. So that'll leave it here. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Check out some merch. Pick that up if you guys want to in the link down below. And I will catch you all next week.